See, .bh just opened up last year.
Websites that you have like 140% of internet penetration.
Ensure that they are following the obligations of the kingdom's law.
Like 1 year, no results. 2 years, you get some results.
Place to showcase your product being certified that it's a Bahraini product.
Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Hi, Sami.
Hi, how are you?
I'm perfect. Couldn't you represent yourself to the audience?
So my name is Sami Mohamed and I work with .bh in Bahrain, and we are the registry for managing .bahrain and .bh.
And couldn't you also represent what is the difference between com.bh, net.bh, org.bh? So it's like.
So .bh is the second level domain. So it's like the easiest way of representing Bahrain or any entity within Bahrain. But when you talk about .com.bh, .net.bh, they are very specific to the audience that we are looking at. When you are looking at .com is for companies, .net is for network related companies, org is for organizations. So it's a different category when it comes to, and it gets categorized when it's divided in that aspect.
In Bahrain there are like 1.5 million people or something like this.
Correct.
And I saw on the website that you have like 140% of internet penetration or something like this.
Almost 200%, more than almost 200% penetration, because it's almost
200%.
Yes, almost.
So it means like average person has like
2 lines.
That's
correct. Yeah, we have average person has around 2 lines. That's an average.
So country is totally covered.
Totally covered. Totally. We were one of the first islands to launch 5G. Mm-hmm. So we have we were in the region. We were the first to cover full 5G. So that's why we have very good response in terms of internet and the services we provide.
Okay, and some specifics. For example, when local people would like to pay for the service, they usually use like local payment gateways. Yes. So is it?
Yes, we have like they normally prefer to use local platforms.
Okay, and regarding payment gateways, what kind of payment gateways do you use here mostly?
So for majority of the public, there is a government-based initiative called Benefit, and that connects all the banks. So you have all the debit card transactions go through Benefit platform. But for credit card, there are multiple options, and there are international as well as local. I think the 2 famous ones are CrediMax and Tap. These are the 2 local ones which are famous in the market right now. But there are international as well players.
And also, as I know, you have like 4K local domains or something like that, yes?
Around 6K.
6K.
Yeah.
Sorry, and about .me, it's also very popular domain name here, and .com, or people prefer .bh?
See, .bh just opened up last year. So before that, it was very much like a closed TLD. It was very difficult to arrange and get access to .bh. So since last year, we have seen a little bit of growth, say about 10% growth from what it was before. But now we are pushing to adaptation of this. But the issue is .com has very, price-wise, it's very easy to access, and it's easily available, and people think it's global. That's why they recommend to go for .com.
How you feel about global brands? Because when I talk to local providers, they said like for global brands it's a little bit complicated here, because they are, let's say, it's difficult for them to collect money. It's difficult for them because like local people don't like to buy from abroad. But do you like feel global players here, or mostly people prefer to work with local registrars and local hosting companies?
It's a mix, to be honest. Right now, since we have opened up, we have seen a lot of shift from, because it was before it was with one operator that was or registrar taking care of all the domains. So there has been a shift from that to mix. So there is a good shift towards an international registrar, one of them which we know, and the remaining is going with local. So there is a lot of local requirement when it comes to that. People prefer supporting the local businesses. But the issue we are facing right now is the growth of .bh. So once it won't be an issue, it's like a challenge that we are trying to develop on. So we want to establish .bh as the go-to domain. So that's why we are promoting a lot of local registrars and trying to give them the opportunity to excel in this market.
And the average prices on the like for end customers usually comes to like $50-60, like something like that.
Correct, because it's based on the government decree. So it's a fixed amount that we have to charge
Yes.
for a domain because it's a government resource.
Yeah, and the registrars and
Yeah,
sellers
the
put something on top.
resellers put their own market, so it's based on their business.
And I see like maybe the main fighter is here social networks, because lots of businesses have only Facebook, Gmail, that's all.
Yeah, so the main business driver here is Instagram. That's what people use mainly, and as you mentioned, Facebook and WhatsApp now. So people just use these three social media platforms to use or provide services through these three platforms. We are trying to educate the community that having a website gives you a more legit setup, and but it will take time. It's because it has been integrated for a while.
By the way, Bahrain is very known for cricket, yeah? So you're like, it's your main sport here, yeah? And you're president of association or something like this?
Yes, I am the president of Bahrain Cricket Federation and Hockey Association, two entities. But football is the main, as it's in the Middle East, yeah, it's the main game. But cricket is very popular here because of a lot of expat population or foreign population that is here.
I also was like in similar countries like Thai and Bangladesh also cricket very popular.
Australia, it's a British game, so it's very popular in Australia, England, New Zealand, and so on.
And when people here, usually when they choose a provider, for example, buy domain name .bh from different providers, how they prefer like quality or price? For example, when they buy hosting or something else, they usually like best price or best quality?
I think it's mainly price driven because the market is new, the product is not very old in the market, so it's very much price driven, and they will evolve into quality once the product becomes older and it's more familiar in the market.
As I know, your domain name came to the market a little bit late, yes? Like
yes.
You said,
Yes.
What one it was?
2022 we had it in the market. Yeah.
So now you like should have this expansion of local domain name and like.
Yes, but there is a 6-month process of launching a domain, so that took 6 months. So hopefully we are targeting this year we should see the ramp up of sales.
We will help with this. And what about website builders? Do you hear about them here in Bahrain? Like people like search for them or?
For us, we don't really have that much of an influence on that, but it's more of a registrar driven concept. So the registrars are the ones who push for website builders and all these products to provide an end user with a better service. So we support this kind of initiative, but we haven't direct influence on these things.
And you also said that there are some regulations regarding Bahrain. You said like when you're talking about registrars or hosting companies, you said that you have some like obligations or regulations for local hosting companies. Or what kind of them? Like,
so
just few of them or main ones?
So the main aim is to ensure that they are following the obligations of the kingdom's law. So that's the main aspect. So you have to, whichever registrar is there or whichever entity is as a reseller needs to follow the rules of the country. That is the main obligation.
Or for example, like say sell in local currency or something like.
No, none of these. We are very open. We are very flexible in this. There are no such criteria. It's just to ensure that you follow the law of the country.
Or for example, like few examples, like for example, like no fakes, or I don't know what kind of
so for example, no misuse of any of the domains for cultural or any such implications. So you have to be very careful in monitoring these aspects. That should not impact the social norms of the country. That's the main thing right now.
Just in our dream, of course, everybody in Bahrain will start to use website builder, and instead of Instagram, let's say, and get short domains, so will be like short way to, let's say, like registers like CloudMe, or I don't know, or a server, like or other registrars. So if they start like promoting website builders and people start switching from Instagram, and also like in my ideal scenario, as Instagram was blocked, let's say in Russia or other countries, and because like in geopolitical wars, nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Okay. And in that case, if like some global providers just shake, like Gmail or something, people start thinking, oh, maybe global providers are not good. Maybe we need something local.
Okay.
Possibly it will also expand. And also during the corona, like in Bahrain, not in Bahrain, in Bangladesh, I meet some guys. They said during corona everything started expanding because too big traffic, and also people need to stay at home, so they start trading online. Maybe it's the same. Maybe you need something here, you know, law regulation or something to motivate people to go online or something like this.
So as you mentioned, in Corona we saw a lot of online interaction as well. There was a lot of online traffic. That's how so many of these initiatives for like benefit and all of that online payments came into place, and there are a lot of businesses which benefit from that. But at that time as well, we didn't have the .bh available to the market, so it was still a closed TLD. And during that period we had Instagram take over. A lot of businesses benefited using the Instagram. So as you said, due to any geopolitical issue there could be a ramp up, but from policy point of view we have made it very clear that .bh represents Bahrain, so it's a good place to showcase your product, being certified that it's a Bahraini product. So it's a lot of a nationalism is there, and a lot of pride in being part of the .bh community. But to have a policy, it's more about education of what the benefit is. And as you said, if you provide tools like Site Builder and other things, because we are working very heavily in promoting the Arabic Bahrain.
Yes.
And once that comes into place, it will help everybody who can speak Arabic use that domain and benefit from the language itself. So that might be a very useful option in promoting domain.
Yeah, and maybe last question, maybe you have some life hacks, for example, for your business, how you like did and you succeed very well, for example. Also, you was delaying starting with TLD, and the question is, maybe do you have like some life hacks how you finally, you know, push up this TLD, or for example when you started, maybe it was very slow, now it's going faster. Maybe you have like some life hacks what helped you to going faster, or that helped you to launch it at least.
So for us right now, it has the main aim to, after launching, was to promote and educate. So to educate, the best way is to find the youth which will be the next business leaders or will be going into workforce. So we are working very closely with the universities. We just finished one hackathon last month or last week, I think, if I'm not wrong. And we are working very closely with the university to add in their curriculum development of websites, development of internationalized domain names, email servers, and so on, to support the community. So once the knowledge is there from end of university, when they go into business or they're developing their own business, they will be into this whole digital environment, because there's a lot of push in building a digital kingdom and working with the vision of the country's leaders on, you know, creating the digital environment, sustainable digital environment. That's what we're working on.
By the way, education is always long term, because we also work with education, and what we see, like when you start working with education, like 1 year no results, 2 years you get some results, after 3-4 years, like you have teachers, you know, technology, you have children who like from generation to generation each teach each other, you have customers in the market, and then like after 4 years, like your competitors just unable to take the market, just because like everything is around you, like you get the standard. Getting the standard is most difficult things, and now what you are doing well, you doing hard job, you making new standard to the market, because you're a little bit late, and now you need to make new standard to the market. We also would like to help you, and just would like to say that teaching, as you said, is like fundament, I don't know, the basement of everything, and in the long term, education like wins, because you have new generation of people who start using it. Yeah.
So it basically, the concept behind that was to build the ecosystem to support this whole digital transformation of everything every business going from being physical to digital. So as you said, the education will take 3 to 4 years. This was our second hackathon. We plan to continue it, to keep educating the students, and these are the last year graduate students which are going into the workforce, as I said, and opening their own businesses. So it gives them the edge that they know, and then you will find products and businesses supporting each other for that, and we'll have hopefully a very successful environment.
Thank you, Sami.
Thank you for that.